Hey everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Fine Print. Today's episode is a deep dive into one of Europe's most prominent and longest lasting empires. Do you think you can guess if I give you a few hints? It was initially ruled by Julius Caesar. It covered land from present-day Portugal and northern Africa to Iraq, and it was where the Byzantine city of Constantinople eventually popularized Christianity. If you guessed the Roman Empire, you've hit the jackpot. Join me today as we dive into the Roman Empire's rise and fall and everything in between. The Roman Empire was founded in 27 BCE when Julius Caesar, a military general and statesman, declared himself the emperor of the Roman Empire. In fact, he claimed, "I found Rome a city of clay, but left it a city of marble." And he was quite right. Julius Caesar was one of the greatest Roman military commanders and leaders who led the Roman Empire to an era of stability, prosperity, and military success. At the age of 16, Julius Caesar was initially a priest. However, since he was dismissed from his position and couldn't support his family, he decided to join the army. Caesar's new streak of success began when he won the civic crown for saving a life in battle. He then returned to Rome upon hearing of his opponent's demise, where he successfully dabbled for a job as an orator and soon became a renowned speaker. A few years passed, and Caesar began to rise in popularity in Roman politics as well. He was part of the first triumvirate, or group of three, in Rome, alongside politicians Pompey and Crassus. Although Caesar was a popular and favorite leader, the fame eventually took over his ability to maintain a just Roman republic. It led to many historians, even today, viewing him as the dictator of Rome in his final years of leadership. Eventually, political tension rose so high that on March 15, a group of senators stabbed Caesar 23 times in the chest due to their belief that Caesar's dictatorship would prove harmful to the future of the Roman Republic. Although it was the end of Julius Caesar, it wasn't the end of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was and continues to be well known for one significant element of world history: architecture. Architecture has continued to be a major cultural factor for many ancient civilizations. However, for Rome, they were highly influential in societal matters as well. Let's take, for example, the Colosseum. While it evidently displays classic Roman architectural methods, such as columns to support the building and intricate designs inside the site, the Colosseum served an additional purpose, which was entertainment. In the morning, the Colosseum featured events such as comedic or fantasy duels. Later in the day, however, was when the more violent acts took place, almost always amongst men. This included heavy animal brutality. Hundreds of thousands of animals were butchered every day at the Colosseum to achieve what the Romans knew as the right amount of cruelty. When dealing with their environment, the Romans were very efficient and innovative in using their natural resources. The Romans improved on what we know today as aqueducts. Using stone, brick, and volcanic cement, the Romans created an extensive underground system that could send water to multiple areas across their empire. This advancement ensured that each part of the empire received a sufficient water supply. Their invention of concrete was also highly beneficial when it came to constructing roads to connect significant locations in the vastly large empire. When it came to the military position of the Romans, it was fairly powerful for quite some time. During the era of Pax Romana, translating to Roman peace, military conflicts were more undersized. The economy prospered through trade, and strong ties were maintained inside the empire. Furthermore, the Greeks heavily inspired the Romans regarding medical findings and innovations. The Romans can be credited for findings made in the field of gynecology. They created a unique chair for women going into labor to ease the process of childbirth. Furthermore, the name C-section, which is the short form for cesarean section, was named in honor of Julius Caesar, who was believed to be born the same way. However, these prosperous conditions only lasted for about 150 years, when the Roman Empire began to face both internal and external challenges. Although the Roman Empire's control over lands spanning a large part of Europe was one of its strongest advantages, it soon became a liability. it became hard for the emperor to manage such a large land area while only being in one place at a time. Furthermore, military power over the politicians in the Senate soon led to multiple internal civil wars and conflicts throughout the empire. All these internal pressures led to the neighboring empires and enemies taking the opportunity to invade a weak empire and colonize, which eventually led to the fall of the Roman Empire. The fall of the Roman Empire wasn't an event lasting only a few days. Instead, the progressive decline eventually led to the creation of a new power in the Eastern Roman Empire, known commonly today as the Byzantine Empire. Although the Roman Empire fell and was recreated into a completely new empire, their advancements and innovations were ones that are remembered even today. As we conclude today's episode, I hope you've enjoyed learning about the rich history of the Roman Empire. If you're enjoying fine print, make sure to tune in every other Friday to explore more deep dives into stories of the past. Until then, keep reading between the lines.